and I'm going to make a long video about what's the meaning of martial arts. Now, I'm into a new YouTube channel. The things I opened up is my original YouTube channel is Aaron's Martial Arts Revolutions, and still my name is Aaron Robinson still. Okay, once again. So I'll go speak about what's the meaning of the martial art. I'm gonna make a new video. I'm gonna say different wording this time, but yet gonna be a little bit longer. At the same time, it's not too long. It's a balance. So first thing first, a lot of people, as you know, confused what's a martial art mean as a meaning, because according to media, you see martial arts as physical, like cage fighting do. Literally, to me, cage fighting is not martial arts. They call this mixed martial art, and it's not a martial art. It's a mixed combat sport, and that's part of the reason why I've been calling it mixed combat sport, or cage fighting, or even UFC. Three things, main thing I would call. Once again, mixed combat sport, cage fighting, and UFC. If you go call this stuff, but don't call this stuff martial art, because there's no place to that. The stuff needs to be separate, because many combat sports out here, many mixed combat sports out here, there are much more rules than I thought. Even less rules compared to boxing, taekwondo, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Even those less rules than that, still more rules than I thought. As far as the real martial arts is concerned, no limitations. Like Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, that's martial art. Certain individual martial arts expression out here, who's created by, that's martial art. So first thing first, we'll break this down. Now, what is a martial? As you see, it's famous in the military. Is that right? And police officers. Like martial law in the military, court martial. We have also U.S. Marshal. As a police officer, it's the U.S. Marshal. Martial literally is a combat. As a military, they fight in a war. Whatever they have to do, they use knives, they use guns. Now, if you look at back in the day, soldiers fight with swords, gunpowders, cannonball, knife, and a little bit more. Now, they fight with guns. They could have a new upgrade guns. Martial is literally a combat. And also, martial meaning is that you gotta be super fit in order to be in a combat. If you're not fit, you're not gonna be in combat. That's what in the military, you notice, they're being fit. That drill sergeant yell at you for all day long during a physical training. Drill sergeants do that in a military school, in a boot camp. They yell at you. That means you have to do what the drill sergeants say. That is a martial, what drill sergeant doing. But yet, very important thing, you know what's interesting about drill sergeant? And requirements are, I love that standard, is you have to be fit instructor when you do this stuff, because you run with him. Like if you watch the movie Full Metal Jacket, that is a great example, and I recommend that movie because I love that movie, because drill sergeant yell at you. Yeah, he work out with you. He's fit. He's extremely fit what he does by running, physical stuff. That is a standard. If you're not fit, you go be fired. Now, if you look at Tae Bo, Billy Blanks is a similar drill sergeant in a positive way. If you look at Billy Blanks, and train you to be fit. If you're not fit, as an instructor, you will get fired. That's what I heard in Billy Blanks. And when you're a soldier, when you're a police officer, police soldier, you have to be fit. If you're not fit, you're gonna get fired. And police officers should have that standard, but literally, sadly, they don't. Compared to in Europe, they're physical fit compared to America. They are well trained compared to America. And the standard is you have to stay in the consistent fit. If not, you have to get fired. But sadly, they don't get fired. So if you could fix that, like where police officers staying fit all the time, then it will be helpful with that. It will be beneficial with that. Because you have to be fit in order to be good at combat. Regardless. If you look at combat sports, you have to be fit in order to become good at combat sport. Boxing, you have to be fit. Taekwondo, you have to be fit. MMA, mixed combat sport, you have to be fit. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, every single combat sports out here, you have to be fit. Even though they're not martial arts, but still gotta be fit. Even though forms competitive, still gotta be fit. And Shaolin Kung Fu, look at Shaolin Kung Fu. They're very fit by holding the horse stance, finger push-ups, hold every single stance for 1 hour. Even hanging himself in the neck of rope for 1 hour without the death. That's intense. And every single thing Shaolin do, they strengthen their body before they go into combat techniques. Real Kung Fu have to strengthen their body before get into real combat techniques. That to me, that's what martial is. You have to be extremely fit and combat, defend yourselves. And also next it's got to be into self-defense. You could defend yourself in unarmed combat techniques. That's beyond cage fighting. But you could use fingers of knife. You could put finger in the eye. You could hit anywhere near, like in combat sports not allowed, but you can do that in the street, no problem. That is science of combat. And as far as the self-defense there, also you can use knife for self-defense, and also you can use guns for self-defense. But as far as weapons concerned, you gotta be responsibly trained. And another one, what martial is this is not a game when it comes to defend yourself. People tend to push your buttons, people tend to be bullied that they think you're a pushover. Instead of be all pushover and stuff, you gotta have that martial in you. That way, they could leave you alone. And sometimes that you gotta be bullied into injustice system. And bully could be a wrong thing, yes. But sometimes you gotta be bullied against injustice stuff to survive. Reason why you gotta be bullied, because it's the right thing to do. I do not say being a pure bully, no. If it's injustice, it's a reasonable way to do it. That is a martial. And there's people out here who will push their buttons. And for example, you don't want to make police officer angry. Because you got to understand about police officers. That's where you have that martial aspect. And if you hit your hands in the pocket, he'll pull out a gun. with a warning. If it's something very threatening, he'll shoot and kill you any day. And it's justified. And police officers are well trained to do that. Things you gotta understand, police officers are scared. A lot of them are. So they have to pull the guns quick, shoot you back. Never know what gonna happen. But if they have well trained, where you're not intimidating, it's a different story where chances are you could be live. With me as a martial aspect, I don't play around this nonsense. Martial aspect you use as a verbal, you could use as a physical. I use a verbal means I cuss so much, or I speak my emotion truth, honest truth with emotions. That is a martial in me. As far as a martial in combat, I'll kick the knees. I do things that will break rules to protect myself. So there's another thing too. Sometimes you gotta break the law and rules to protect yourself, because people out here will break the rules and laws. Even though laws say don't kill, but yet they'll break the rules. So break the law, break the rules. Do what you gotta do to protect yourself, and deal with the law later. And there was a now let's go to the art. Art is beauty. Art is known for like fragile dolls, fragile pots, breakable things, art pictures, imagery, poetry. These are all arts. Even musics. It's all art into it. Now, I'll go tell you what the art is. Now, art is, for example, part as a fitness is flexibility, speed, detail of techniques, creativity, unique, individual. These are art. Now, if you look at Shaolin Kung Fu, they have that beautiful techniques. Techniques looks beautiful, but yet they're very lethal what they do. If you look at Taekwondo with kicking, your kicks are beautiful, right? But it's very lethal. If you put the martial art with kicking, it becomes very dangerous. That could break your arm. It could kill you in a split second. And also, some kicks that weighs 1,000 pounds to the body, that will destroy internal organs. Easy. Once again, that will destroy internal organs. It's a beautiful kick. But yet, it could destroy 1,000 pounds of force, like back kick is. That's a beautiful kick. That, you don't want to play around with that. And don't even be cocky against that. Because that will kill you unless you're really tough. But you could be the tough guy until you go get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, now if you look at Mayweather, for example, even though he's not a martial artist, but he's close to the martial arts, he's still, his footwork's beautiful, his punches are clean, very accurate. He's an art. He has a martial, there's an art. He's so close to martial arts, even though he's not martial arts, he's still. But by the way, boxing's not martial arts, but like a guy like Mayweather is closer. And also, he could knock you out too with a punch. especially when he was a low weight class back then, he used to knock people out with punches, counter punches, accurate punches, timing punches. And then later, when he move up, plus his aging, he has to adapt to his ability because he can't do the same anymore like when he was younger. So he has to adapt since he's been aging. And that's part of the reason why he's closer to martial arts. Another thing, example, Tupac. He has a martial by using guns to defend themselves. As he rap, he uses profanity a lot. He swears a lot. He speaks his mind through his heart, through his stuff. But yet, he is a artist by the way he speaks. Is not so-called proper English. It's a more slang English that is so unique. Don't hear people talk how Tupac speak. And he has creativity of poets and all sorts of stuff. He's so unique what he does. Now, I'm going to talk about break it down of body, mind, and spirit. Now, I'm going to talk about the body first, because body is the first thing. To able to move, able to be active, to be able to be fit. Like I talked about early, like what's a martial arts, you got to be fit in order to be a good at combat. And you got to have the science of combat. That is a part of body he needs, and proper science of techniques. That, by the way, requires discipline is a habit also. That literally gotta discipline your body to do stuff. Especially when you're lazy, you gotta go from being lazy to active. That is a body. And I noticed that there's people out here who know all the answers with their minds, and all of a sudden, when it comes to the body, it sucks. Performance level sucks. The reason why they don't have enough body to it. That's part of the reason why the body is first. The physical is first into that. Without physical, there's no performance, and there's no way you could defend yourself, no problem. There's no way. Even though you know all the answers already, if your performance level sucks, I can't accept that. No matter who you are, you can't accept that. Make sure you have that body. Rather fitness, beautiful techniques. That requires you want to build good discipline and good habits. Without those, there will be no stronger body. There will be no athleticism. And another thing too, you got to demonstrate your athleticism through good discipline, good habits. That you want to aim towards the highest level. Now, let's go to the mental. The mental. And I don't talk about the corrupted mind. I'm talking about pure mind. Literally, a pure mind is there's no mind. What I meant is no mind. It's through the body. You must practice 500 times or more as a repetition. And then later, once you come to defend yourself, it becomes automatic reaction. When you perform, it becomes automatic reaction. You don't have to think about it. It's there, it's there. This is no mind. As no mind, you gotta have mind like a lake of water. Not ocean, lake of water. If your mind's full of lake of ocean, chances are you go get headaches. You end up thinking too much, and then all of a sudden, that came too short. So you gotta have no mind, order to defend yourself, perform well, wherever that is. And also the moon represents consciousness. Consciousness is a very strong word, very powerful word, much more powerful than focus. Focus is one thing, conscious mind is the other thing. It comes from no mind. Conscious mind comes from no mind. Conscious mind is a pure mind that you want to create. Have a strong awareness to that. Gotta have conscious around you. That's what moons represent, conscious. If you don't see the moon, there's no conscious. When you're in combat, when you see something, you have to see the moon in order to have that conscious mind. You have to read your opponent in order to have that conscious mind. Even though you don't have to think about. And what Bruce Lee said with that is so cool is, do not be tense, yet ready. Because what I mean is, don't be tense but ready, because I tell you a story that day too, and I was across the street, and I almost ran over by a car. True story, real talk. And I feel when a car come at me. What I do, I feel. I don't have to think about it. When I do see it coming, I move with my natural reaction. I don't have to think about it. Oh, my reaction's there. I couldn't get hit. But with my martial arts training, it helps me a lot through these years that too many people doesn't know nothing about. Without that, I could get hit. But martial arts training through the years helped me a lot to get good when I'm at. And with and another thing too, you gotta have balance with mind also by practicing forms, memorize stuff. To memorize stuff, it takes practice, it takes confidence, it takes consciousness too. Because the reason why is, for example, you don't want to be in a fighter with no mind that end up had a brain concussion. That's literally what happened in football, boxing, and mixed combat sport. They get repetitive, get hit in the head many times, and their intelligence level is going down. We don't want that type like that. I do not recommend those three sports or affect your intelligence level. You need to have that mind to gain your intelligence level. You need to have that mind where you could gain more and more of conscious-minded. You need to have a mind that will function your body properly. If you look at boxer, they have a horrible speech. They sound very funny. This is sad, but it's true. Because all those repetitive punches in the head literally happen. Boom, boom, boom. Later, that's what happened. Now, Muhammad Ali died not too long ago, passed away not too long ago. Because of physical, like mentally, he's dead already. Physically, he's alive at this moment. Mentally, he's dead. This is very sad. And later, he's passing away. Now, if you stop while you're ahead, you'll gain your intelligence, no problem. Because brain's a very important part of your body. You gotta have brain to be intelligent, to function it well, and avoid all those concussions. I'm serious. Avoid all those concussions. So the mind to me is the consciousness to me. Now, I will be also spirit. Spiritual is a hard part there because the spiritual comes from the heart. I'm talking about the prophecy type of spiritual, enlightened type of spiritual, and strong heart type of spiritual, all those stuff. Let's say, example, Jesus Christ. You know Jesus Christ. He's a very strong spiritual person. Lao Tzu has a strong spiritual person. Buddha has a strong spiritual person. Very enlightened. Also could heal their spiritual blind. The world we live in, we're a bunch of spiritual blind out here. Physical, they could see. Spiritually, they can't see. So it's very important to be enlightened through the light. Like Bruce Lee, he's an example of martial arts of body, mind, and spirit. He's physically fit, has a combat science. He has a mind, he has conscious. And he talks about Dao Jigundo of moon is the consciousness. And he's very spiritual from Lao Tzu, that Tao Te Ching of Lao Tzu, to encourage you to be yourself. That is true spirit. Another thing, example, Tupac. He got this up from Jesus. He looked pretty fit when you see him take off his shirt. He has a mind. He's a very intelligent person. Especially when truth he speaks. And he's very spiritual. The way he speaks, his mind, his heart, through his music, why his word be quoted. And also, I also forgot about his body that uses guns to defend himself. Another thing I forgot about the mind is, the mind is a technology too. And America is famous for built the technologies, the modern day technologies, like phones, computer, weapons like guns. They'll be making even more technology. That is a mind to that. Now let's go back to the spirit. If you look at Shaolin Kung Fu, they have a strong body, means they're fit, good combat skills. And then the mind, they use meditation. That's what mind literally is, meditations. And staying hold still like a lake of water. And spiritual, they follow the way of Buddhist teachings. That's what Shaolin Kung Fu are. They follow the way of Buddhist teaching through martial arts training. And I love that idea. I love that. And then if you look at Bruce Lee with Dao Jigundo, almost the same concept like Buddha is. Now another thing who is a spiritual example too is Osho. Osho is the latest person that is an example. You have more books. And another thing what spirit is, through your heart. Whenever your heart connects to the like Eastern philosophy there, a person has a right direction, but yet even further become enlightened. That to me is spiritual right there. Spirituals through once again enlightened prophecies. So all very important component. Also, most important thing, heal the spiritual blind. And spiritually blind has to be healed in order to see through the light. When you see through the light, you know the prophecy already. Could be an intelligent way to do that through the mind. Yes, it can. Not just from the mind, from the heart. The heart is the most powerful thing you will have. If you have a good heart, chances are you will have a good spirit. And we live in a society where spiritually it's been corrupted. That cannot cure. Only way to cure your spiritual is you. You could heal it. You could cure that for you. Now you got that part down, right? Is the body, mind, and spirit. All three components are the most important thing you need to have. Without all three, you're not a martial artist. And what a martial and art is. Now you understand what's that meaning. Now I'm gonna be out this video. Now I'm gonna make it another video. Have a good day.